HHDG.
Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media podcast. And shout out to our crew, our company, our family. HHDG Media Inc. makes this possible. That's Rock Vader KB, myself, Wiki, T. Smith, the Mayor, and Skelly Top. Shout out to everyone on our YouTube channel right now tuning in, as well as our Facebook group, HHDG, which is Hip Hop Discussion Group. And as you can see on the banner below, hhdgmedia.com, you can go and check out music we put up there, as well as future events and our merch. Now for tonight, we have two talented brothers coming from two different coasts of the U.S. Been putting it down for quite some time. I would say I probably discovered Coss at the time through listening to Blue and Exile. And from there, discovered a really dope, very talented, multi-talented brother who has been doing his thing with CashUs King for who knows how long. You know, I know the two of them probably know a lot longer than I would do. But definitely appreciate the synergy that the two of them have. Jeff Johnson II, dope production, the MCing that comes through, the consciousness that you hear within him and CashUs King. It's like a tandem that was made, you know, long before the music. And I think the first project that I remember CashUs King, and I'm not sure if it's his first, was the Instrument of Emotion. Had that joint, what was it? Love and War. That was one of my joints on there. And he continues to, you know, give you that food for thought. Dope lyrics. And got a company that I think spawned from the dope track, Black Hockey Players. Definitely gonna get into that and continue to put out dope music. As of Valentine's Day this year, he dropped a new project, and I'm sorry, I don't want to mess it up again. Love is Love, because I remember prior to that, about maybe 10 years ago, She Loves Me Not. So, I mean, there's a wealth of music to talk about, but we want to really stick to what we have out right now, as well as the Dear Kanye track and the latest track, Cheshire Cat. That joint right now, a lot of people really need to go and check that out and support that. But I'm going to do a lot less talking right now and introduce these two talented brothers. Jeff Johnson II, peace.
Peace, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Absolutely. And CashUs King.
Yo, West.
How y'all doing?
Thanks for having us on, man. Really appreciate it. Had to switch the shirt real quick.
You know? That's all good. There you go.
Yeah.
For that boom bap Cadillac, you know.
There you go. Now you're from Leimert Park.
Yeah.
An artist that I always think of, and I wonder, sorry about that, wondering about what happened to her, because I like to dig, you know, see what's going on. But Raven Sorvino.
Oh wow!
But she was out of Leimert.
Yeah.
Raven Sorvino. I thought you were about to ask about what's her name that I did the hot sauce joint with. It starts with she's a legend.
Yeah, you got me stumped.
Oh my God, I know you're talking about. You know the hip hop legend I did the hot sauce joint with, Jeff from Leimert, OG female rapper.
Medusa.
Medusa?
No. Yeah, Medusa.
Yeah. Raven Servino's name sounds familiar to me. Was she around in like 08, 09, 2010?
Yeah,
around there, yeah.
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 I don't know, man. This is a tough game, man.
Yeah,
you know, a lot
that's
of talented
true.
people get washed out because you can't make the proper income, and then you gotta bills gotta get paid. So sometimes you gotta put the art to the side, and it's hard to
Right.
So there was another artist coming out of Lemert that was developing a buzz that was working with Alpha Pup for a minute. His name was like started with a T. It was just like a one-word name. He was doing more like trap. He was really Willow Smith had liked this shit on Twitter, and it started to kind of catch a buzz. It was like Trey or Trip, or it was just like one name, and he was, and I haven't really heard about him for a while though.
Y'all remember Eero?
Out at Lemert?
Yeah, man.
I'm a Lemert nigga that don't really fuck with Lemert niggas. You know what I mean? No beef or nothing. I'm just like kind of reclusive.
Yeah, he changed my life with his EP Synopsis and the lead single Listen Up. Bro, yeah, he did. Whenever you get off here, just check out that EP. Dog, it's unbelievable.
Culturally, Lemert is like the Bronx of the West Coast. This is like the mecca of LA hip hop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And not just for hip hop, but for Black culture in general. It's a lot of rich culture that comes out of Lemert. So, and we got everything from like the underground legends, all the way to people like Dom Kennedy. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of history over here. And it's right down the street from Nipsey Hood and from just all the major centers in Los Angeles. Lemert kind of is like the central spot. So yeah.
Right. So before we go any further, tell us how long the friendship between the two of you has been.
Man, it's been over 15 years.
16.
I can tell you how it began.
16 years, 2007.
Man,
I can't believe it. Like 16 years. It's crazy to think like it's been that long. If it doesn't feel like that long, but yeah.
So I basically reached out to him on MySpace. I got a homeboy named Adrian. We were like, we went to college together, and we were like, we were like two of the Morehouse College hip hop aficionados. You know what I mean? So we always stayed on like the OK Player message boards and like, hiphopsite.com, hip hop DX, or whatever. So Adrian actually put me on the blues music. I would say probably a year or two before Below the Heavens came out. But Below the Heavens came out, and of course it's a classic, instant to me. But so yeah, I checked it out, and then I did like this what do you call it? I did it like a deep nosedive on YouTube, just looking for more blue music or whatever. And there was a song called "City of Lost Angels," featuring Cross. It didn't say Coss, it said Cross, right?
Cross.
So I'm listening, and I hear this dude come behind Blue, and like, man, he was like a combination. He was like a hybrid of Trey D, Rascas, Salem, Corrupt, and Saphir, like wrapped up all into like one dude. You know what I mean? So I'm getting on MySpace looking for Cross, and nothing is popping up or whatever. So I go to Blues. I go to Blues MySpace. Then I see he had a joint featuring Coss, and I'm like, I wonder if that's the same guy. So I went to Coss, MySpace page, click play, and I was like, yeah, because it was a very distinct voice. So I'm like, yeah, that's the dude. You know what I mean? And then like, ever since then, I was just a fan. I was hooked, and I was making beats at the time, and I just reached out to him to see if he wanted to collab, and that's pretty much the genesis of our relationship. He just dropped me his email address, and we just kept in touch through that. You know what I mean? And then email address became phone numbers. Phone number became actually meeting up, and we evolved to where we are now in 2023. So.
And I've always been kind of internet illiterate, you know what I mean? As far as like, so Jeff was the first one to kind of help me situate my stuff, because this is back when datpiff.com was really popular. I had a mixtape out called Tomorrow's Yesterday. So Jeff took it and he put it on DatPiff, because he hit me. He was like, man, you need to put your shit out there. You know what I mean? Because it was like, even now I work on music. Jeff handles the social media. He also MCs. He also does a lot of the artwork. He's a renaissance man with this shit. So yes, since the genesis, he's been helping me situate my stuff and present it, because I'm fully artistic, and when it comes to technology, I'm kind of out of the loop. So yeah. And Blue produced Godly too. He produced that. I didn't realize Godly had come out before Below the Heavens.
Yeah, it was on the Godly Barnes LP.
Yeah, he produced that whole thing.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
But like before, like the era we're in now, there was no real organization of releasing. So you just heard about them when you heard about them. So I heard about Below the Heavens first. What I knew about was what's it called? Lifted? The one with Just Another Day?
Oh yeah. That was like the promotional EP.
Right.
Yeah. That's the one where he's kind of looking up, smiling and shit on the cover.
Yep. Yeah. So I had no idea about the Godly Barnes or whatever until I did that deep nosedive, on YouTube and found that track. But once I discovered Cross, I was all in, man. So
I gotta find Coss Sings the Blues. Blue produced the EP for me around that time called Coss Sings the Blues.
Wow.
And he had like 4 or 5 or 6 songs for it. I don't know if I still have them, but I gotta ask Blue if he got any of them. I don't think you've heard any of those, but yeah.
I didn't even know you recorded some. I thought it was just the title you were playing with, and you didn't get around to recording anything, bro.
No, I did. It was a song I did called One Day. Remember that One Day You'll Find Your Love, One Day You'll Find It. That was supposed to be on
that? Okay.
Yeah, that was on Coss Sings the Blues. We had a joint called John Gotti Stash, but I was yelling out all these like LA gangs at the end, and Blue was rolling through Compton with his cousin. And his cousin was like, man, turn that shit down. You about to get the car rolled up on these niggas. These gangs, they don't fuck with these niggas around here. Like, so we never put it out because we were gonna switch it up, take out all those gang references and shit. Right. Yeah, that was back in the day when I was still on my other shit.
Man. So around that time, Below the Heavens was 2007.
Yep.
The year before, Exile dropped the Dirty Science album, and you were on, I think, 2 tracks on there.
Oh yeah, that's fka Coss.
Like Get You Down, and it was like LA's Finest or something like that. I know Get You Down was the one that Miguel sang the hook. It was me, Miguel Blue, and I think Donnell Smokes. Yeah. And then I had my own and I remember I hated my solo joint because I felt like I was rapping out of the pocket. That was one of the first songs I ever recorded, like in a booth, really shit. I remember Blue was like, "You killed that shit, nigga. What you talking about?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'm out of the pocket. My flow is over there, the pocket's over there." But I was young. That was like one of my first joints right there, like first official. I wrote it on the spot with some verses I had just written for something else over like a Jay-Z beat and shit. I put those together at Ammo. We had a crew called LA Metropolis. It was me, Gunny Sinatra, Ammo, Donnell Smokes, and Blue. And then Blue and Donnell had their own crew called Black and Blue, the Bruise Brothers. Okay. And that's how I met Blue, when he was a duo with Donnell. So yeah.
Okay. Wow. Such a wealth of talent you already started working with early too.
Yeah, I just got lucky. I met Donnell at the weed store, man. I mean, at the weed spot. We didn't have no weed stores back then. This is back when the weed spot was on 39th in the hood. Donnell's coming down the driveway, and I'm thinking to myself, please don't let this nigga say nothing to me, man. I'm not in the mood, man. And he was like, "What up with you, man? How you doing?" I was like, "I'm good, man." And I was like, "How you doing?" And he was like, "Just trying to make this music." And I'm like, "Oh, you make music?" Because at the time I'm writing like 33 bar verses, 15 bar hooks over Jay-Z instrumentals. I don't know what I'm doing. He like, "We got a show tonight. You should come to the house in Hawthorne." I swear they put me on stage the first day I met him.
Wow.
And when I stepped on stage, I couldn't even hear the music. I was so nervous. I don't even remember what happened. I went, it's all a blur. But the first night I met them, I went down, hung out with them in Hawthorne. They were living together with their girlfriends. And then we went to a show that night, man, back in like 2003.
Wow, that was almost 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
No, it was 20 years ago.
Damn. Y'all don't know about Blues Grind. Y'all don't know about his company. It was a long road before Below the Heavens. He put in a lot of grunt work before he got to Below the Heavens, man. He got signed in the Death Row, man, it's a lot of history with Blue.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So between Jeff Johnson and Cassius King, Jeff, you have multiple talents. What was your first talent that you showcased with Cassius?
production. I used to send them beats, and we did a song called Rainsfall, and I never got it mixed or mastered, but I was so excited about it. I just uploaded it on MySpace as is, and at that time, MySpace was kind of dying out, but I still had enough of a following to where the numbers were decent, and people like dope beat, dope rapper, keep it up, So that's the first thing we did, and then I think we did a. You remember writing a song called November Runner or something like that?
November Runner?
Something like that. Something Runner. It was over a Fifth Dimension sample.
Oh,
if I can find a track, I'll send it to you. It might refresh your memory or whatever.
Hey,
but that was the second joint we did. And then after that, I think I just kind of wanted to get deeper into like the administrative side because he was doing joints with like other producers that like they were incredible, and I felt like their production was actually bringing out the best of them. Not to say that my production was mediocre or whatever, but I was like, man, like let me stand behind this dude. You know what I mean? Because I have skill sets elsewhere, and I'm not one of those guys who necessarily needs to see my name on the marquee or I need to be ranked as a top 10 guy. I just love hip hop. You know what I mean? So I felt like CashUs was going to be a great vessel, to the type of hip hop that I wanted to hear and that a lot of other people had an appetite for. Because in 2007, 2008, the game was just changing. That's when trap began to like really pop. You know what I mean? And a lot of the more I don't want to say conventional style hip hop, but like just some of the the boom bap, some of the more soulful stuff. It just didn't have much of a pulse anymore, outside of like maybe Lil Brother and blues album, of course. But yeah, I thought CashUs just had a talent that the world had to hear. So it was just a matter of putting his talent, before mine, So.
And y'all remember in 06, I mean, we had lost Dilla, we lost Proof.
Yeah,
I was in Detroit, and it was a dark time at that time. And this is before Blue had dropped Below the Heavens. Right. So Blue and Exile, they really came through and like kind of reinvigorated the scene.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't Dilla, but it was something that people were just as fanatical about. You know what I mean? So it kind of it did nothing can replace the loss of Jay Dilla. You know what I mean? But it did create a new space for people to stand in. I remember around that time you had a track you produced for Sheba. You remember Sheba?
Oh, yeah, Babylon Blues.
That beat.
Sheba, yeah.
I always wanted that beat too, man. That beat was sick.
Yeah.
You were Mozambique back then, right? That was your
Mozambique. Yeah.
That was a clever name too, Mozambique.
And before that, I was like Bobby Drake for like 3 weeks. Ice Man, Bobby Drake. Yeah.
A mainframe from Johnson & Johnson?
Yeah.
He was CashUs King for a day, and we almost had beef.
Oh, did he gave
you he's like, that's CashUs King. I was like, nah, he ain't CashUs King. I'm
CashUs
King. That's crazy.
Yeah. And if you listen to Johnson & Johnson, you will hear mainframe say CashUs King. You know what I mean? He's not shouting me out. He's
talking about himself.
Yeah, wow. Mainframe was killing it on that record too, man. His bars was nice on there, dude.
That's amazing.
We went on a grimy tour in 06. That was a tough one, man. From the West Coast to the East Coast, man. Like 14, 15 cities.
Wow.
Sleeping on the floor in a hotel, sleeping on the end of the bed. Me, Tarak made us mob through the hood in every city. Every city. He was like, we got to walk through the hood. We can't be afraid to walk through the hood. I'm like, why do you keep making us do this? Like, we walking through the hood in Kansas City, man.
That Kansas City story.
Oh man, yeah. When I got confronted, it's kind of a blur now, so I don't like to tell it no more because the details are getting shaky. Okay. But when I got confronted at the liquor store, and old boy asked me for my ID. This is around the time Mac Dre got killed, so it was real tense in Kansas City between the Bay and Kansas City. So LA, it was the same thing to them. You know what I mean? Like we ain't fucking with the West Coast at that time. And I went to the liquor store to get some Hennessy and showed the old boy my ID. And then there was another nigga in the store like, you from Cali? And that's when the bum, well, I don't want to call him a bum, but the homeless man stepped up. He was like, nah, he ain't from Cali. He from Chicago. And then took me to the side. He was like, don't never tell nobody out here you from Cali. You got $10? I was like, yeah, man. So
He go 100.
Yeah, thank you for saving me,
Yeah,
man. Because the old boy was looking at me real strange when he thought I was from Cali. So the homeless man saved me. And then I bought some weed from old boy that was about to do me dirty. I was like, you got some kush? He was like, man, it's weed, man. You want some weed? I'm like, damn, I really am from Cali, man. The weed was good too.
Wow, you brought up Tyrok, man. Wow, I heard that name in a minute. Shoot, LOVE, that album right there.
Yeah, and the Fevers too, man.
Yeah, the Fevers. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. I still search for that record on like YouTube, but I cannot find it. I probably have to purchase it or something.
Somebody will upload it eventually. You know, stuff just pops up at the most random times on YouTube. So
yeah, is all of our stuff on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I never look myself up.
Yeah.
You say you never look yourself up?
Nah, man. I'm kind of I'm not a very like egotistical artist. You know, I really do it for the art. You know, like I know a lot of people, some people do it for the fame, they do it for the attention. I do it because I'm just driven by the art. So I'm kind of self-conscious, you know, looking up myself and doing all that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I gotta do it because I gotta see what the feedback is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So somebody gotta do it. But I feel you and why you don't. So
I mean, the producers be on your head though every other second, asking you about the numbers and asking you about the stats. So you got to stay on top of the, you know.
Yeah, everybody trying to make a name for themselves. So just, you know, that's my window into like the digital universe. You know what I mean? I get a chance to see what the collective opinion of consensus is about a particular song, about a particular project or whatever. So yeah.
That's interesting. Ooh. Now Blue worked a lot with a Brooklyn artist by the name of Scene. They dropped A Day Late and $1 Short. I don't know if y'all could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your role in this album?
Am I on that record?
Yeah, you are a crazy version.
Oh, okay, yeah. Man, Scene's just a homie, man. Scene that's my dude right there, man. A Day Late and $1 Short, my memory's foggy because I smoke a gang of pot, so I can't speak to that specifically. But I can speak to just the benevolence and the given nature of Scene. He was thinking Scene is a natural born Brooklyn raised hustler. So he came out to LA and just made it work. Like I was always like, how do you do that? You just go everywhere and just make it work. And he came out here, him and his now his wife, they got 3 kids now. At the time, she was his girlfriend. They were staying in Palmdale. And he used to have me come all the way from LA out to Palmdale just to record me. You know, hot ass days, just record me for free, just to help me out, give me beats from his producer. So yeah, at the time, him and Blue, but what's funny that you mentioned that him and Blue are working on a project right now. In present day. Yep.
Okay.
We're working on an EP together. Yep.
Okay, word.
I told him I better be on that motherfucker, man.
Is he still on The Good Doctor?
I don't know, man, but his acting career is popping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's in Luke Cage, The Good Doctor, and a few little indie releases or whatever, well-reviewed indie releases.
Yeah. He's always posting little clips of upcoming stuff, you know. So I was telling him I wish he had gotten that Blue Beetle role, but he said, "Oh boy, that got it is his homeboy." So plus they wanted somebody a little younger. But yeah,
Miguel from Cobra Kai, right?
You said what now?
Miguel from Cobra Kai. Who got that role? Okay.
Yeah, they haven't shelved that one either. That one's still coming out.
Oh, okay.
Because they shelved a lot of the DC shit, but the Blue Beetle is still coming out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Day Late and $1 Short, man. It was the days. I don't remember specifically like the creative process of that project. And the Scene, was that the one that Scene produced the whole thing himself?
Yeah,
was Scene producing that?
No. Blue produced it.
Blue did it. Yeah,
Blue produced that. Yeah. I can't remember. No, I'm thinking about Brooklyn Night. That was the one we played for Raz.
That was crazy too.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
You had a verse on Backboards.
Yeah.
Crazy, yeah.
I remember Razzcats was flipping out. He had us run a song back like 5 times. And I remember I'm sitting in the back seat like, damn, I ain't gonna get to play this nigga none of my shit. Cause we kept running back Scene shit, and I never did. I never got to play him a song. I was back there butthurt, but I didn't want to hate on the homie. So I didn't say that. Razzcats was a cool dude too.
Cool. Now you mentioned Scene's wife. Is that the singer that he worked with?
No. That's Denisha. Denisha was
Denisha,
I remember her.
Yeah, no, shouts out to Bonnie, his wife Bonnie, man. Scene he's just a good dude. I remember we were on the road and he was like, I just want to tell you, man, I'm gonna be true to my woman, man. You know, and I was like, I'm not gonna pressure you or nothing, but he was just letting me know that I'm staying true. I'm not that kind of dude. I mean, him and Bonnie been together since day one, man. Since I met him, it was like, I don't, man. When did I meet Scene? Like 09, 2010, maybe even before then. So yeah. But yeah, Scene is the homie, man. He's one of the coolest, most down to earth people you ever meet, you know, and he's crazy talented, you know, acting, directing, rapping, producing, singing. Yeah, he can do it all, man. So yeah, only person that could do more than Scene is Yamin.
You know, Yamin Somali. Yeah,
he do it all. So and does it all well too. So
amazing. You know, I was gonna hold off on asking this question, but since you brought him up, you, Blue, Yamin, and Jeff, when are we gonna get a project?
Man, hey, me and Yamin were this close to doing an EP called King Yamin. But you know, just life happens. I think Yamin just moved to, where'd he move to? North Carolina. Oh, okay. So yeah, he's just kind of trying to get settled, and you know, so I want that to happen though.
I'm gonna send his interview to him. Let him know somebody asked. So
yeah,
you know, that's demand right there. You know what I mean? That might be an incentive to create. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I definitely be down with that.
Yeah, I love. There's a lot of people, man. I always wanted to do a project with Sean Jackson in Blue. You know what I mean? Sean Jack retired from hip hop. So Yamin is one of my favorite MCs.
That's fire. And Yamin, if you're listening to this Yamin Supreme.
Oh yeah, that's crazy too. Yeah.
This is crazy. And then the packaging that he came with the bag that it came in with everything with the little picture on it.
That dude is super like he a genius. I mean, straight down, his ideas, concepts, the way. I mean, like Cash said, he can produce, he can rap, he can sing, he can engineer.
Yeah, he did scratches. He did scratches on the Phonetic album. He can DJ like a motherfucker. That's one of his strongest suits right there. Is DJ.
Yeah, I mean, he was scratching on Glory Form that we did, and Black Ops Players with Planet Asia Rats.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, production is dope fuck too. And he remixed the old Slauson. I mean, you know,
the Nipsey joint.
The Nipsey joint, that one. Yeah. So yeah. And then he blazed that joint I did with Big Tone. Big Tone is one of my favorite lyricists. Man.
Oh, word out of Detroit,
Yeah. Detroit, yeah.
Yep.
I get a lot of my like rhyme scheme and flow influence from Big Tone, Royce. You know, the Detroit cats really influenced the way my schemes kind of flow. You know, so I don't rhyme like them, but it kind of influenced me to make my schemes intricate and intertwined and shit.
Right. Word.
Speaking of influences, Jeff, who are some of your influences coming up?
All right. Well, I'll say this. I didn't really start getting super heavy into hip hop, really, as far as it being like my favorite genre until about 91. And I'll attribute that to 2 albums, Death Certificate and at the time I thought it was the first Dirty by Nature album. It's actually the second, the one with OPP on it or whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I would say that Ice Cube influenced me just as far as like from a content standpoint. You know what I mean? He wasn't like he didn't spit punchlines and all that other type of stuff. You know what I mean? But this straightforward, hard hitting lyricism, and just being real gent, and describing his environment, what he saw, around in the South Central or whatever. He basically became like my first favorite rapper. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I would say Naughty by Nature, mostly because of the production style, the KG beat. Even though Fretch is a GOAT, I'm not trying to be dismissive of him at all. You know what I mean? But I would say that's my entry into like becoming like an aficionado, like a hip hop head. And then when I was 13, Common, formerly known as Common Sense, dropped Resurrection. Mm-hmm. And bro, like I kind of like modeled my whole steez, like, off of that, like subconsciously or whatever. Even the style of production I like, just the, the jazzy looks over the strong break beats or whatever. So and I don't do the punchlines and the symbols and the metaphors or anything like that. But just as far as like just honest, just straightforward. This is the story of my life type of lyrics. I definitely got to pick that up from Common. So yeah, I would say Common and Q were like definitely like my top two. But we weren't doing like GOAT lists and all that other type of stuff back then. Everybody had a different favorite rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For whoever liked Ice Cube, there was somebody like, I like Grit. You know what I mean?
Nigga almost punched me in my mouth because I told him that I thought Razzcast was better than Corrupt on Lemert Boulevard in front of some gangsters. They didn't like that. It was like, hey, nigga. I was like, it ain't that deep, man.
Hey, man, Corrupt got to agree with you, though, man. Razz is nasty. You know what I mean?
Corrupt, as far as like a lyricist in the streets of LA, Corrupt is God.
Oh, yeah.
Especially back in the early 2000s, like Razzcast was more for like the lyrical. It's funny, but everything you mentioned, I was on it, but like 2-3 years later. So you were on Resurrection. I was on One Day It All Makes Sense.
Word.
That's the one that got me through the death of my dad. You know what I'm saying? Listening to God and
Gaining one's definition,
yeah. I used to bump that. I used to bump it literally as my dad was sick. I turned it up loud, and the CeeLo's verse got me through a lot of hard days. So the comment. And the first record I ever had was "Creeping on the Come Up" from Bone. My mom wouldn't let me listen to Snoop Dogg because he had too much explicit sexual content. Ain't no fun. And have you ever had some bomb pussy? Have you ever and all that? My mom didn't want me hearing none of that audio porn, so she liked Bone because they didn't rap about women. So she was like, I like those Bone Thugs. So she put the Bone Thugs in my Easter basket. It was a bunch of candy in the Creeping on the Come Up album, and that was the first hip hop album I was allowed to listen to with cursing. So that's where it started for me. 90.
I remember the countdown, the doggy style, like C. Dolores Tucker, Al Sharpton, Jackson. They were like fan, PBS, telling everybody not to buy the album or whatever. They ended up playing a copy of the album cover. You know what I mean? The little comic strip or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just remember all the beat while they were saying the cuss words or whatever.
Yeah.
So my parents was like, nah, you ain't getting that. But I was always 3 steps ahead though. Yeah. So I had a homeboy at school. He lived maybe about a block away. You remember a record store called The Wiz?
That might have been something that was more.
Maybe it was just in the DC Metro.
We had Warehouse out here and Tower.
Well, he lived a block away from The Wiz, so I had this thing mapped out perfectly because I was getting allowance money at the time, and I used to get $5 a week back then. So I remember I saved $10. Gave it to him. It was like, yo, I need you to buy this tape for me since my parents were taking me to get it. You know what I mean? So he brought it to school the day after it came out. You know what I mean? Right?
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it was 93. It was like November. You know what? I feel like it was around the same time Wu-Tang and Marauders came out, like November, December.
I think so.
Yeah, it was right around that time. But yeah, he got that tape for me, and I remember I took the album cover and just threw it away. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't be obvious to or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, we used to sneak to listen to It Ain't No Fun, like real low. We just be leaning next to the boom box, like, oh shit, do 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 do. And the graphic ass lyrics. It was like,
there's nothing that you do. That's to the homie.
Did she even lick my ball and all that kind of shit? It was like, whoa,
Crazy. So, I'm 13 years old, knowing that tape top to bottom. Like,
everybody knew all the words to that shit. What was I gonna say? Because that was back in the time where like sometimes albums would drop. You didn't know unless you were like reading the magazine, like The Source or something like that. Like when East 99 dropped, I didn't believe a homie. He was like, man, Bone got a new album. It's called da-da-da. I was like, Bone got no new album. You ain't heard it. And I remember I was like, rap some lyrics, and he was like, I should have never killed a nigga, but he ran off with my sack or something. And I was like, what? And then when I heard the album, he was talking about bud smokers. Or not bud smokers. I didn't want to take his life, but the nigga tried to run and get away with me. Yeah, yo. That's what he was talking about. And I was like, damn, this nigga telling the truth. Bone really got a new album. So I didn't even have East 99 until like 3 or 4 months after it was out. And when I finally got it, it was like, because I was a Bone Thugs fanatic, especially Crazy Bone.
the very first album, I had never heard of Bone a day in my life. The only reason why I bought it was because it said featuring Easy E on it. So I remember I went and bought it. And I guess Sluggish Rubbish Bone was already maybe popping in the Midwest or out west, but like it had no radio play. I don't even think it had a video yet. You know what I mean? So just nobody knew Bone Thugs and Harmony was. So I had the tape maybe for about like 3 or 4 months. And I remember right before I started ninth grade, me and my family went to Africa for 3 weeks. And we came back, and then like Thuggish Ruggish Bone is like on all the countdowns. You know what I mean? Yo MTV raps, Rap City, even on the radio. So I had to go and basically go dust the tape off and listen to it because I hadn't looked at it for like 4 or 5 months.
Dude, if that song dropped today, it would still be one of the most incredible hip hop singles. Get ready for the Bone and the Motor Busters. You know me as a hustler. Come on. And then they was dressing like LA niggas in khaki suits and shit. We was like, what?
I thought they was West Coast.
The afros and shit.
Yeah.
And they was coming out of Cleveland, but they looked like Cali niggas. And remember, the Brat kind of looked like a LA. She had like her and JD were doing like a Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre.
Yeah, she was a female version of Snoop.
Yeah. And then I found out she was coming out of Chicago. I'm like, man.
That's right. Yep.
So, and you know, Bone had an album before that called Faces of Death.
Faces of Death, yeah. I ended up copying that about 10 years after it came out.
Now you know some of the backstory about Bone is that Micah 9 and them were doing that kind of harmony style, and they have claimed, I'm not, you know, this is just what I've heard, is that they say Bone kind of bit they shit.
Yeah, I'll send you the track because they were harmonizing and doing double time, and like for 5 or 6 seconds, you would have thought it was Crazy Bone.
Yeah. I remember on Rap Music when on Rap City or something, or it might have been Luke's Peep Show. They asked Do or Die, yo, they saying you sound like Bone, and what y'all think? And then Do or Die was like, do we sound like Bone? And then they was like, then they did a little harmony and shit. It was like, we be playing on the pimp, like we don't sound like Bone, nigga. We do our own thing. It was real sensitive back then between Crucial Conflict, Do or Die, 3-6 Mafia, and Bone.
Yeah. And they had similarities, but they were still distinctly different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think just because they were from the Midwest and kind of rapped over slower. Who was the producer? DJ Unique and Legendary.
Yeah, DJ Unique. Yeah,
you kind of just lump all that stuff together, but nah. I mean, like, you know, and one guy from Do or Die, he didn't even really rap in double time.
Nard, he rapped.
Yeah,
I drop bombs like Vietnam. Yeah, he rapped real slow. Yeah, but Psychodrama was my shit.
Oh, Young Buck and
he really influenced me because when I heard Young Buck was with G Unit, I was like, oh shit, they signed Young Buck from Chicago. And then I heard it and it was a different Young Buck, and I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, you talking about the Nashville, straight out of Nashville Young Buck.
Yeah. The most similarities was between Bone and Crucial Conflict. You know, like Crucial Conflict was always like the VR Troopers to Bone's Power Rangers. You know what I mean? That's no diss because I love the VR Troopers, by the way. We are VR. But so I would fuck with all of them because they all reminded me of Bone, and I was a fucking Bone fanatic. But when Twista hit the scene, I had never heard nobody rap. Adrenaline Rush to this day, the lyrical performance on that is phenomenal.
I remember when Twista and Tretch had beef, man.
What?
He was actually tongue twister at the time, and there was a song on 1993, I think it was called Sleeping on Jersey. And he like dissed him. But I had no frame of reference to who Twista was or whatever. And then he dropped an album like in 94, like kind of responding to him. I was like, oh, so this is the tongue twister that Tretch was talking about. And then, I didn't hear him again until Poe Pimp came out like in 96. He had basically just revamped his image and his character, you know what I mean? So still had that fast tongue, but you know, he wasn't like a slapstick, Guinness Book of World Records, world's fastest tongue type. Like spitting hip shit, you know? So,
the clarity in his delivery was always what blew my mind. I feel to this day cannot rhyme along with Unsolved Mystery. I know every word, I can't rhyme along with it. He's going so fast and so precise that I just stumble every time I try to rap along with it.
Right.
We had a lot of love for Tretch out here on the West Coast because that East Coast West Coast shit was real. and we took it for real. Hey, I don't take any pride in this, but I was playing like a youth basketball game when Biggie when regretfully passed away.
Mhm.
And at the time, niggas was like low key kind of celebrating, like not, it was some LA shit. It was real, and Pac had already died, so niggas was real bitter. So when Tretch did the dedication to Pac, niggas really appreciated that because we only got one from Tretch and Richie Rich.
Oh,
and
we
we was
like,
like,
go to heaven. Yeah,
that's corrupt. Where are the dedications? Why are they not doing no dedications to Pac?
right.
So when Tretch dropped that, I got emotional. I remember I cried the first time I heard that joint.
It's a beautiful song. Yeah,
yeah.
Beautiful
They
song.
both are. Do G's Get to Go to Heaven and More You Till I Join You are both
Yeah,
beautiful dedications. They're equal to me. I like them both equally.
bro. I found out Biggie died as soon as I went to go see Rhyme and Reason in the movie theater, and he was featured on that movie. Like it was like a documentary.
Mhm.
I'm talking about as soon as I left, I went to Foot Locker because the movie theater was inside of the mall. You remember they used to have it, And he's like, "Yo, man, did you hear that Biggie died?" I'm like, "What?" And this is like a Sunday afternoon, like pre-internet, really. You know what I mean? So we got
way pre-internet.
So I mean, the movie was only 2 hours long. So literally before the movie started, I hadn't heard nothing. And then after the movie, I heard about Biggie. My mom picked me up, so I turned on the radio, and it was nuts, man.
That was crazy. Hey, in LA, when I found out Tupac died, I was holding a rib from Philip's Rib. I'm from Philip's Barbecue. I dropped the rib. I'll never forget watching the barbecue splatter and just start bawling. I was a Tupac fanatic. But when Biggie died in LA, that's when shit kind of just hit the breaking point for people. When people were calling into the radio station crying, like, why is this happening? Why won't these rappers stop killing each other? Why does this shit keep happening? People was balling. It's back when you had to call the DJ. It wasn't no social media. It wasn't none of that.
Right.
We called Julio G. We was calling Theo. I remember I called Julio and was trying to get some reasoning from him. Like, why is this happening? And like at that time, that's when the shit kind of started to die out. After Biggie died, the East Coast, West Coast shit, people was like, all right, this shit is going too far. We losing legends. You know what I mean?
Giants. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And the game really hasn't been the same since they've been gone. And I mean, it's been 25 plus years at this point. But man, it's just, there's like this permanent emptiness. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, Nipsey Hussle's death brought it back to us. It reminded us how we felt. And then we lost Draco. And it was like, yo, this shit feels like Pac and Biggie again. Not quite to that extent, but Nipsey it was a similar kind of thing because he had the thug spirit, but he also had that benevolent heart,
Yeah, and he was in the street, so he was like a man of the people. You know what I mean?
He was doing real shit for the community too.
Yeah.
It was a tragic time in Los Angeles when that happened.
Man, so many have passed away and continues to happen, and that a lot of that is from violence, but the other aspect that we need to continue to speak on is dying early from health related reasons.
Yep, absolutely.
I was telling Jeff, I've been having issues with my GERD, so I've had to cut out the red meat, cut out the caffeine, and just kind of adjust my diet. And my therapist has recommended me to this little part of the hospital I go to at Kaiser called the Center for Healthy Living, because I'm noticing we're losing a lot of our artists in their 50s, in their 40s. You know what I mean? It's not all gun violence. A lot of it is just like a lot of these elements that inflict Black people the most. Anything from sickle cell to what was it with Jay Dilla, lupus? And then because of I don't know if it's conspiratorial or whatever, but because of the way our genealogy reacts different to the food and the water and all of that in America, we tend to get these diseases faster. And then our rappers, they live fast and they tend to kind of die fast. We're losing a lot of legends, So
man, word.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things as I've gotten older is listening to the older family members, the certain type of ailments they had, and then seeing a lot of colon cancer, diabetes. You start to, take those things in consideration. I've slowly changed my eating habits and now been vegan for about maybe 6.5 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, I take all those things into consideration, throughout the times, I started reading on certain studies and books talking about, just how food is and stuff like that. You pay more attention to the ingredients of things, you know.
I got a colonoscopy at 36, and I got a I always forget I got the colonoscopy, the back, and then I got the prostate, which was incredibly painful. I've done that twice already, and I did a colonoscopy once, and that's the problem with Black men. They don't go to the hospital enough to do preventive care. Not just Black women. Black women too have a high rate of dying and giving birth. Prenatal care is not on point. Doctors tend to send it when you go see a doctor. You got to press them. Don't let them rush you out. Oh, hey doc, chill. I still got some questions. Because they will just tell you you're all good. They tend to send Black people home faster and perceive us as being more durable or able to handle things more, or maybe they're just more dismissive of us. But yeah, we got to be on top of more proactive about our health care, especially Black men. Mental health too, not just physical.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And speaking on mental health, how do the two of y'all stay so focused with the music?
Man, I think we lean on each other, between that and then having therapists of our own. You know what I mean? Like,
shouts out to Dr. Miles.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We've been on that before the whole mental health thing was trending the way it is now or whatever. Yeah, man, because in this business, dude, I mean, we've seen way more valleys than peaks, and that could be a depressing thing. But the good thing about it all, both he and I are friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, man, we lean on each other in those dark times, man. And I always remind him of how talented he is. He tells me how great he is. Me helping him out with particular things or whatever. We push through it, man. But it definitely isn't easy, man. Definitely isn't easy.
And the music, like I always tell Jeff, it calls to me. So no matter how frustrated I get, the artistic part of it is like embedded in me in like an innate sort of way. It's just inside of me. So no matter how much I don't accrue the success that I want, which I have not yet, I'm not where I want to be professionally. Artistically, it's just always like a voice in my head that's I wake up and it's like create, right. So like, even if I tried to walk away, I don't think I could fully. Even if I go get a 9-to-5, I'm always going to be working on music. Word. Even when I'm in my 50s, 60s, 70s, I'm going to be writing poetry. You know what I mean? So it's just the artistry for me. It's almost like an addiction, but a healthy addiction. You know what I mean? If that's
and a release.
Yeah. So, and I think it's the same thing for Jeff, because Jeff is like him. I always want to see a showdown between Jeff and Blue as far as who's more knowledgeable, because I don't know, because both of y'all got a deep well of knowledge.
No, it's crazy. At the Boom Bap Suite, we had began, but it started getting dark. But we were talking about pro wrestling, man. He's like, man, you remember WrestleMania 4? I'm like, nah, you remember WrestleMania 7 when it was Marcus Slaughter?
Hey, I get in the mix on 90 shit. Like I remember Mankind, like I said in my joint, Mankind gotta wear a mask like Mankind. My daddy was heavy into the 90s wrestling. Back when you didn't say it was fake. You know what I mean? You said it was fake.
Right.
Somebody might want to talk to you about that. Like these days it's a known thing. Back then it wasn't clear. We thought it was real, So I was on pay-per-view when Owen Hart died.
In the house. I remember that. I had literally just completed my freshman year of college, and I had just gotten back to Maryland for the summer, and it was a Sunday pay-per-view. I remember that, man.
They made them keep wrestling like it was a real the epitome of the show must go on, because they were like, how they would talk shit to each other before the bout and they were taunting each other. Well, they were crying while they were taunting each other. They was like, Owen, you hanging there, bro. And it was like, and they had known he had passed away at that point.
So I'll never understand why they just continue with the show, man.
Because Vince McMahon don't fuck around. That's why.
I was like staring through the TV at that point. Like I can't even tell you what match occurred after they broke the news that he had actually passed away. But
remember when the WCW invaded? It was like the New World Order, and Hulk Hogan turned evil.
Evil.
And
Oh,
then
yeah, yeah,
Ric Flair and them came over and they invaded the WWF.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Hall and Nash, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, remember that.
Y'all making me nostalgic now.
But now I was just saying that like Blue has like an archivist mind, you know, and I'm a historian. I have my degree in history or whatever. So yeah, it's just fascinating how much he can like retain some of the most.
Have you ever talked to him about history? He can go all the way back to the hominin, to like Homo erectus and like Neanderthal at time, and just go all the way through history, all the way to like the Ottoman Empire, and do it in order from his mind. Yeah, that dude is a serious intellect.
He kind of did that on Black Israelis from the way to win.
Hey, no, did you hear Roots of Blue?
Yeah, Roots of Blue.
Blue is fucking incredible.
Yep.
It's incredible. I think it's one of the most incredible blues songs he's ever created.
Yeah. Word up.
It's amazing.
And we about to do a joint too called. Remember when me and Blue did a joint called Angelic?
Yeah, back in 08. Yep.
We doing Angelic Part 2. And I wrote like a 60-bar verse. Man, wait till Blue laces it. He gonna get on some Black Israelis on that.
Oh man.
Blue, when Blue get on his lyrical shit, it gets scary, bro. Like,
yeah, man.
Being that you brought up Blue, and I was talking about it in the intro, the Black Hockey Players track, and how you have now Black Hockey Players Entertainment. Tell us, from the song to the entertainment entity of it.
I mean, the dream was to have a real crew with Asia, Blue, and Razzcast. But Asia and Blue were such more established brands than me that it was hard to kind of make that happen. But Black Hockey is kind of like it's a way of looking at the world. Like me and Jeff always do what's not expected from the crowd. So it's like when you see a black person playing hockey, it's very rare. So that's kind of what the theme. That's what Black Hockey represents to us. It's like we're gonna always break the mold. We're gonna always come outside of the box. We're gonna always do it a little different than the majority of our peers. So when they see us doing it, it's kind of like seeing a black guy on ice. You know what I mean? It's like Black Hockey. And plus, we gonna rough it up. We're gonna mix it up. So I mean, I haven't had a chance to establish it, but I really do. Instead of like, and this is no diss to anybody else, but instead of like signing to like PG Lane or TDE, I just want to start my own shit like PG Lane or TDE, you know what I mean? Or Dreamville. And I would like it to be Black Hockey, so.
There you go.
And, this is the first time revealed. Well, I've been talking about it a little bit, but me and Blue about to drop some shit called the Blue Tape.
Perfect timing, even though I wasn't related to it.
Produced by Cinema to Graffiti. And it's not an album, it's not an EP, it's it's like Love is Love, it's a mega blend, and it's all me and Blue. And it's not called the Blue Tape because Blue, that's 50% of it. It's Blue Tape in parentheses, a E, because it's about feeling blue, feeling down, feeling melancholy. But then the color blue also represents optimism and tranquility. So what we do is we go on the tape from the darkness to the light, and it kind of progresses like that. And I'm real excited about it. It's being mixed and mastered. That's going to lead into me and Jeff's collaborative blend called the Malcolm X blend.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's back to back, Blue Tape and then the Malcolm X blend. And me and Jeff is just really on our, fist in the air type shit on that. So that's what we cooking up. And then that's gonna lead into a mixtape with DJ Applejack out of Atlanta called Pocket.
Yeah.
So shouts out to DJ Pocket. He's mixing it right now.
Oh yeah, word.
Hey, thank you for linking me with Pocket. One of the coolest, most professional people I've ever worked with, So, and it's sounding great. Did you get a chance to sit with it yet?
Not yet. I will probably tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. Let me hear what you do. So yeah, look out for the Blue Tape. Look out for Malcolm X blend. That's what we cooking up next, And check out Cheshire Cat right now, which is one of my personal favorites and one of my favorite performances from Jeff. But mine is your verse on Hollywood Love Story, bro. She only dating niggas from the Lakers. Like that's one of my. She got the red bottom flip flops.
A million followers on the
TikTok. I mean, the shit don't stop. Baby Hollywood, couple procedures, got her body good. You murdered that one. But yeah. So yeah, we got a lot coming. Hollywood Love Story. I'm still grieving. I have a whole series of these mega blends that I've done with Cinema to Graffiti that are coming too, which will kind of fill in the gaps between full-length project. And Jeff is cooking up some solo shit, but I won't speak on that. I'll let Jeff speak on that.
Yeah, everything is still in its genesis or whatever. I have some beats, I have some bars, but I don't have any songs yet, if that makes sense or whatever. But I don't want to force it. I just want to just kind of organically put it together, and then hopefully it'll be ready, within a reasonable time frame, and then the success of Malcolm X, we gotta claim it. You know what I'm saying? Create an audience that is interested in hearing it. A sizable audience. Of course, there's always people who check us out, and I'm grateful for them. You know what I mean? But with the expense of mixing and mastering and artwork or whatever, you don't want to get dropped up into a black hole. You know what I mean? And nobody hears it. So yeah.
You gonna produce something for it yourself?
Yeah.
You got to cook up a beat for it, man.
Yeah, and what's his name live here? Diamond D. I'm gonna try to get a beat for him if that's possible.
Ooh. Maybe dope.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try to do like mixed, production. So yeah.
What was Divine producing, and he was rapping for a minute, huh?
He does both.
Oh, okay.
He does both. I'll listen to see what he has also or whatever. But he hasn't done it for a while. But he might just have some stuff that's been sitting for a few years. And like, shoot, if you ain't gonna use it, I'll take it. It's still brand new to me.
That's what I be trying to explain when I be talking to Graffiti. Like, man, some of them old beats those be the beats that resonate. Producers tend to think that you want the newer stuff. I'm the same way. You cook up newer stuff, and that's the stuff you want to present. But a lot of times, it's the older stuff that will resonate with people. So yeah. Because every time we do a Blue show, Blue be trying to do his new shit. They be like, dude dancing in the rain. Dude,
we trying to hear Still Blazing.
He got to do Below the Heavens a little bit at every show. You got to give him a little bit of BTH. You know what I mean?
That's literally his Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? So that's what people want to hear every time he performs.
I mean, I in my opinion, it is the modern day Illmatic. You know what I mean? It's it's an undeniable modern day classic. You know what I'm saying? He's a living, walking, breathing legend. So sometimes I gotta pinch myself, remind myself that no matter how much success I haven't accrued for myself, I've been able to be in the presence of legends.
Yeah, whatever.
People like Exile and Blue. Sometimes I just I look out at the crowd and I think how many people would just kill to be standing on the stage, standing next to Blue. So. And he's one of the coolest, most down to earth, humble, benevolent, open. Just he's just a cool dude. When he could take it to the head, but he's always trying to take what he has and give you a piece and try to throw some rope to you and pull you up. So he's a good dude, man. One of the best friends I ever had. So yeah,
that's what's up. That's respect right there. In the intro, I brought up "She Loves Me, She Loves Me Not," and that came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, 2013, yeah.
And I thank you. I don't know how it came to be, but you work with the German label Jakarta Records.
Yeah.
And went and dropped it on there.
Oh, the dub plate.
Oh, word. Yeah. Jakarta was the first label that really they pressed up Khakis and Taylors. They did Before I Awoke.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned She Loves Me Not, because Love Is Love was kind of a callback to that, because on She Loves Me Not, it was Love Is and then the title, and on Love Is Love, it was the title and then Is Love. So I inverted it. She Loves Me Not is probably a personal favorite of most of my small fan base. That one in Grayer Skies. So.
Oh yeah, Grayer Skies. Yeah, that was 2013 also.
Yeah. 2013 and 2011 were both pretty productive. I think I dropped like 3 albums in 2011. Sleepwalking. Because you asked if Instrument of Emotion was the first album. That was the third official release. The first one was Sleepwalking.
Yeah.
And it was Before I Awoke. And then it was Instrument of Emotion. We dropped that in December of 2011.
Yep.
Shouts out to Andre Simmons. He did the art for that too. Andre works for Honda or Sony now, one of the two. He's like an in-house artist for them now.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, he's official now. He's doing his thing. Now, Andre been drawing since we went to elementary school. I mean, I've been down with Andre since kindergarten, and he's been drawing ill shit since kindergarten. So yeah.
Literally known him your entire life.
You said what now?
I say you literally known him your entire life.
Yeah. So yeah, she loves me. She loves me not. Love is love was kind of a call back to that since it was 10 years prior. So yeah.
Now, did you want to drop it on the same date like that?
Yeah. Well, it's the V-Day. I try to get it every year, but V-Day is my day to drop. I always want to show love on V-Day. Regretfully, I've been single for like the last 10 years, so I'm also just trying to spread love to all the people who have found that, and then universal love, familial love, love of self, love of the world around you, so yeah, every year we missed a couple of years, but last 4 or 5 years we've been able to hit it. So yeah,
I think we've only in 10 years probably only missed like 2 years. So 80% is still up there. So yeah.
Yep. So I already got the project cooked up for next year. Love is Alchemy. That one's already done. Clouded produced the whole thing. I just got to get it mixed and mastered.
Oh, okay. Well.
And we're working on a follow-up to the Way to the Win that I dropped last year called The Way to the Win.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a whole different vibe, darker, more like grimy hip hop feel to it. So we just started cooking up for it. I talked to Clouded about it the other day. So yeah, I'm working on that. We got a project with Beatnik D called Man Is Not an Island. And that's my full-length project that I want to drop this year, but it'll probably drop in 2024.
Okay.
We got to we got to situate it. And then I'm dropping a project with M. Waysome EP. That's going to come after Lava Lamps. The blends will come in between. But and that was produced by M. Waysome out of Miami. He's talking about moving to LA, but right now he's in Miami. And yeah, I'm excited about that one too. So yeah.
Didn't he produce the soon to be 23 Till Infinity also?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We working on 23 Till Infinity. Me, Jeff, Definite Mass, and Blue and Donnell Smokes. Yeah. I want to try to format it as close to the original as possible, and we can only do it this year. You know what I mean? 23. So yeah, I really want to get that done. 23 Till Infinity. Yeah. I just sent you the formatted beat for it too.
Yeah, I got it earlier. Yep. So once you send me the rep, I'll put my dirt in and we'll keep it moving from there.
We got to do that one a little more old school though. We got to actually go to the studio. I'm gonna bring Blue and Donnell into the studio, and we're gonna work on it in person as opposed to via email like the way we usually do it, because we got to cook it up together to have that synergy. And then I'm gonna leave some gaps and let you and Definite fill in those gaps. And it'll be a lot easier, and it'll feel more organic than trying to just send it around in pieces to everybody. It's much more difficult.
I'll sit down and study it and make sure that I can, make it happen.
It's gonna be dope, man. Everybody just coming together. It's gonna be a really fun joint, man.
Then we all Hyro fans, which is gonna make it even dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to make some of our grade A material, So
and so Souls of Mischief, they were like an offshoot of Hyro.
Yeah, they were part of Hyro Business Collective. Yeah, so you had them, you had Bill, yeah.
Everybody on 93 Till Infinity murdered it.
Yeah.
And
then A plus OPO, extra prolific. All the dudes is crazy, man. Yep.
And what's the
Casual
days I used to sport them, man. That one, Far Side. Those two joints. I always debate which one is more incredible, because they're both joints. Everybody just went stupid.
That's a good.
Both from Northern Cali, right? Is Far Side from LA or from Northern Cali? They from
Southern LA. They from LA.
LA.
Okay.
LA. Damn, that was a classic time, bro.
They're from LA, yep.
Yeah, because New York got a lot of the props for the lyrical depth back at that time, but niggas was sleeping on Cali in that era, bro. Because monster lyricists coming out of Cali, both from the north and the south.
Yeah, the whole Hyro crew at that time, they just blew a lot of people's minds. Oh, they from Cali? I'm like, yeah. Like, you can't be sleeping on Cali like that.
Yeah. They were from the Bay. They were from East Oakland, like Too Short. You know,
Mhm.
like the polar opposite of Too Short.
Yeah, coming out of East Oakland, but like not on no Yuck Mouth. Hey, another one of my favorite lyricists, Yuck Mouth.
I actually heard, I don't know if it's true. I actually heard that Yuck Mouth and Extra Prolific were roommates. And that Yuck Mouth was trying to be down while I wrote. I don't know how true that is. That's what I heard.
He could definitely rhyme on that level.
Yeah, I know.
He took it more on some street shit. But Yuck Mouth is nice, bro.
Yeah. I discovered Yuck Mouth through the Drew Down album. Forgot the Explicit Game. Yeah.
You remember when they did that duo, like the 911 joint?
Rescue 911. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that joint.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yuck Mouth is a beast. Yeah.
And you know, Yuck Mouth be telling a lot of true stories, like when he talked about getting kidnapped and shit. And you know,
was that story true?
I don't know if that one was true, but he always puts a lot of elements of his life experiences into his raps.
Oh, okay.
Like Revelations is one of my favorite rap songs of all time. That's the one where he just raps about his whole life for like 6 minutes straight.
Is that on Thugged Out?
That's on Thugged Out. Yep.
Okay,
yeah. And then I got some killers on the payroll, and they know. And he had like about 80 Bay niggas on there. Yeah. Fat Bossolini. I forget what his name was. I used to love that nigga, man. But yeah, that's when we were hanging out in the streets. That's back when we was trying to be street niggas and we was bumping the regime and shit, rolling around. But all the Lamert niggas onto that shit. They loved it too. Yeah.
I think Breezy might have been the track off of Drew Down's album when I really heard about Yuck Mouth.
Oh, okay, word. Yeah, man.
Is Yuck Mouth down rapping Forte too? Nah, that's more Drew Down as his homeboy, not rapping Forte.
They both got burns. They both from Northern Cali.
Yeah,
I think they got two separate crews or whatever.
Yeah.
Drew Down's from Oakland, and Forte's from Fillmore, San Francisco.
Yeah,
we across the bridge. Yeah. But that's the crazy thing about Iro. They were like in the middle of like all of that. So they were like these backtrack super lyrical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oakland, East Oakland is like the Watts of the Bay and shit. Nigga, like East Oakland is all of Oakland ain't no joke. LA niggas fuck with Oakland niggas tough around here too. Yeah. My boys' car club, they fuck with an Oakland car club. The Oakland niggas will come down there and they'll go. They got the best weed out there too, man. Northern Cali got the flight, bro. Like LA got some good weed, but Northern Cali got the weed out there. Yeah. That's what gives Cali its reputation. Northern Cali's weed. Yeah.
Oh, word. Okay.
LA's the gangs, and Northern Cali is more of like its own code. Now they thugging and gangstering out there, but it's not as much like the Crips and the Bloods like LA.
Okay.
You have Crips and Bloods, don't get it twisted. But out there, it's just their own culture out there. It's almost like a different state in California.
Yeah, California is huge. Oakland is 300 or 400 miles away from LA?
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours away.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like a whole nother world when we go out there. Like I like like Bay niggas feel the same way. They like LA, but the Bay is where they at. We like the Bay, but LA is, just because it's too windy and cold out in Frisco, man.
Oh yeah, the elevation, man. Mountains. Yeah.
But you got your own culture out there with the Maryland and the DC and the Baltimore and all of that. Where you come from? I know you're in Atlanta now.
Yeah, it's crazy because geographically, Baltimore and DC aren't really that far apart. But it's like two completely different worlds. Like DC has more of a southern feel, you know what I mean? And then like Baltimore, it's like only 50, 60 miles from Philly, you know what I mean? And Philly ain't nothing but an hour and a half from Jersey, you know what I mean? So yeah, like this completely different culture, but only 30 miles apart. So yeah.
I remember I really liked the geography in DC. It kind of reminded me of Philly, like just visually. But I'd only been to Philly and DC once, and both on the same tour. We had actually went to DC after Philly, or it might have been before. I don't remember the order. But I remember
all those government buildings, yeah.
Yeah. There's real hood out there though, man, in DC, man.
Yeah, in some spots, but gentrification has changed up a lot. It doesn't look the same as it did when I was living there or whatever. And every time I visit, there's something new and something that was familiar, but no longer there. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, back in the day, DC was, I would say 89, 90 especially, man. It was a murder capital, drug capital,
Yeah.
everything back.
Yeah.
Not far from the White House.
From the White House.
Yeah.
The black houses right down the street from the White House, man.
Yep.
Jeff will tell you right now, I'm messing hard with the UK, man, with London. I'll be with that drill tough. I don't know why I love UK drill so much, but man, Harlem Spartan, Zone 2, Dutch of Valley, what's his name? I can't remember his name from OFB, but yeah, I fuck with a lot of that London stuff, man. I love it.
Okay.
I like some of the grime too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been heavy in the grime for years now.
Stormzy just did like a love album, kind of like his own Valentine's Day thing.
Yep.
You know, I'll be bumping some of that shit too, like in here feeling emotional, you know, like. But yeah, I like Chipmunk out of from the grime scene. There's a dude named I can't. His name escapes me. He's dope lyricist. Graffiti had put me on to him. But yeah, but it's really the drill. I like that London gangster shit. You know.
What's the name still around? Dizzy Rascal?
Yeah.
He's around? Okay.
He's from London, right? From the UK. I don't know if he's from London, but he's from the UK.
Yeah, he's still doing music. Yeah.
Okay, word.
I fuck with more like the new school, like the hood niggas and shit.
Okay, yeah.
The thug niggas, and you know, all of my favorite rappers, regretfully from London, they either in jail. Free Miz and Mac, that's probably my favorite rapper coming out of the drill scene. And then two of my favorite rappers got killed. Migo and Biz both died in knife attacks. They got a big knife culture out there, but niggas got twisted. They think they don't bust guns in London. They do.
They do,
yeah. They bust guns and they knife. They be out there knife fight. You gotta get your sword game up out there. So I wouldn't want to be a gang member in London, man. No. You gotta go hand in hand with them knives out there. I'm like, I can't do it, man.
The track "Swinging" with Freshman Woes.
That's
crazy. I remember that.
How'd you end up working with him?
He just hit me up, man. I think I ended up, dude. Didn't Freshman Woes produce the joint that I rapped on with Micah 9? Was Micah 9 on it? Or who was on it? Somebody.
No, I don't think
but it was a super slow beat. Like the beat was so slow I could barely rap over it. And remember, I ended up ripping it. Oh, that was.
I don't think that was him.
I don't think that was Freshman Woes. I think that was something I did for Blue and like Shafiq. Can't remember.
Okay, yeah, I remember that track though when you laid it. That was crazy too.
Yeah, the swinging joint came out dope too. I never got to hear it like mixed and mastered though. I would love the finalized version, but yeah, swinging came out dope. I love to work with Freshman Woes some more too. His production is dope.
Yeah, I was able to actually get a copy of that one.
Oh, word.
Where is he from? What?
I know I think he's residing in South Carolina, but I think he's originally from like North Dakota or Illinois.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Dakota, damn. What it do in North Dakota?
Hip hop is everywhere, man. It touches everybody in every state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even Fargo, MPC.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite political commentators from the Majority Report is from Dakota, but I don't know no hip hop heads from Dakota. So
yeah, man, they got him there. Idaho. I saw this TikTok with some Idaho rapper, and he was killing it too.
Oh man, like Tarak say, anywhere you go, man, it's a hood, man.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, bro, don't play them for soft, man. Like anywhere you go, there's somebody doing something. You gotta respect where they at.
Somebody talking.
Yeah, and hip hop, they got a major hip hop scene in Russia. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
HBCU is from Russia. Russian.
Oh,
Nikita Konochuk.
Yeah. And he dope too, man. Behind the board.
Yeah, I wish he would send me some more beats, man. He got those great boom bap tracks. That's where I came up with the Malcolm X Men shit over his time. Yeah.
He did the Johnson way too, right?
The what now?
The Johnson way?
That was Cloud Islam. The Johnson way?
Yeah. With me.
I'm talking about Johnson and John's son.
Yeah, that's
you're right.
Johnson way.
Yeah, Cloud Islam did Johnson and John's son. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. Cool. Speaking of producers that actually looking to work with you again, and that's Shane Sounds that you worked on Glory with.
Oh, yeah.
I interviewed him a few weeks ago.
Okay.
He told me he hit me not a while. I don't know if I hit him back and told me he was cooking up a new batch, and he was going to say he would be a great person to consider for your solo record too. Have you
Yeah,
reached out to him?
I bought his new album. It dropped maybe about 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. I got to hit him up on IG and tell him to send me some beats.
Yeah.
That Glory
Yeah.
joint. Yeah,
Yeah, he definitely said he was looking forward to working with you again.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I just try to cook up with like people that want to work with me. There's a lot of dope producers out there that don't necessarily have like a major brand, but they got major talent. You know what I mean? So I try to keep it in-house with my people. Clouded Slum, Beatnik D, Player Hayes, M. Waysome, Phonetic Symbol, Cinema to Graffiti, just our whole team that we've amassed.
Yeah.
Our little in-house production team. So, and then anybody that wants to build, I'm always down to build because there's a lot of locked doors and closed windows in hip hop. So I try to be accessible to, to work with different people if they want to build, and I'm down to build. So, yeah.
Dope. Now, for the two of you, someone that's not familiar with your music, what track would be the one that you would say that they should listen to?
For me, I would say Sitcom. Just definitely that's like my favorite song that we've done together.
You mean the track that we've collaborated on together, or just an individual track of each of us?
Oh, yeah, I thought
Did you collaborate together?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely Sitcom.
For me, it's the Sitcom, man.
Yeah, Sitcom. That one is so fun, bro. Like people slept on it a little bit. I'm really proud of that song. It was really creative, really fun. We've done some good shit together though. I would tell them to check out Johnson and Johnson with Blue. Johnson Way, of course. You know what I'm saying? Cheshire Cat, man. Jeff went dumb on that, bro. He just went stupid on that. Like bars on top of bars and just really calling hip hop to account. And call and urging people to dig deeper and just to say something on their records. Niggas confusing woke with respectable is one of my favorite lines. So yeah. But out of all of those that we mentioned, probably Sitcom, because I just like tracks that's fun, tracks you got to run it back and catch the references and catch how we play with, And Jeff, what I like is that I was doing like 94, 95, and Jeff was doing like 91, 89, 88, 92, our shows. So we, the content just came together really dope because Jeff's a few years older than me. So we kind of come from the same generation, but just enough where like he was fucking with G.I. Joe, I was fucking with Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean?
Right,
he was fucking with He-Man, I was fucking with Power Rangers. So it's like literally just 2 or 3 years apart, but slightly different, enough to kind of mix it up. So yeah.
And when we're not talking about hip hop, we're talking about television shows anyway, or movies and all this other type of stuff. So yeah, it was a concept that he birthed, of course. So when I heard his verses, I was like, damn, what's the best way for me to approach this? I started listening to Liquid Swords, and I was listening to the way that the Jizza kind of was rhyming on labels. You know how he was just packing in all these different names of all these different labels or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna just pack in as many TV shows as possible. Do it more so like a narrative form, kind of like the Jizza did. It turned out dope. So that's definitely my favorite collaboration between the two of us so far.
So your verse on Poetry in Motion is crazy though.
Oh man, appreciate it.
Yeah. That's the mega blend. Jeff's got a crazy verse on there.
Yeah, you just set me up real good, man. You know what I mean? It's like so poignant and deep. You know what I mean? So it's almost like I understand I have to rhyme at a certain level if I'm going to be coming behind on that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
The Buffalo line.
You bring your best. I'm going to try to bring mine. It's just the synergy, So,
that's what working together does too. Like when I build with Jack and Blue, you want to elevate it to another level. I remember one time I did a song with Tarak and Big Tone, and I didn't make the cut because I was on writer's block at the time. I remember Big Tone was like, he wasn't really in the zone at that time. I was like, nah. He was like, yeah, we took the verse off. It wasn't really working, but I think that. So sometimes it ain't there. When you're around other lyricists, you want to you want to come with them bars. I mean, we always then it gets competitive, like when you're dealing with people like Nas and Biggie and Jay-Z. You could tell on New York's Finest, they was trying to Brooklyn's Finest, they was trying to kill each other. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a competition. That competition and that respect you have with fellow lyricists really makes you want to just, be your best self. So it's good to work on stuff by yourself, but sometimes it's good to work on stuff with other artists. To really, that's why I want to do 23 Infinity in person, so we can all kind of feed off each other's energy,
That's where my vocals come from, man. Just being able to work with y'all, man. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, when you rap with people like you hear niggas that can't rap, you know what I mean? Like just like you can rhyme, you know what I'm saying? Like, and some people just can't, and you can, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't put you on. I don't just put you on tracks because you're the homie. I put you on tracks because you can get out. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. If I don't like it, I'll tell you. I always like it. So because Jeff got some stuff we haven't put up, like the Malcolm X blend and Hollywood Love Story. I'm really excited for people to hear the Malcolm X blend. Me and Jeff are trying to, because like coming up on people like Common made conscious music cool, and that's what I'm trying to do in the present day. I'm trying to make I call it progressive rap, and I'm trying to make it something that it's got the substance, but also appeals on a swagger level. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like artists like Black Thought was one of the dopest with, like, he was conscious, but he had that swag, that street swag. That's what I want to resonate in our music too. So
Word up, man.
Yeah, and that is the perfect example of the two of you right there. And like you keep bringing up the latest track, Cheshire Cat, and Jeff was on it. And I gave him his props. And when I first heard that, I was like, "Wow, this is what I like to hear." Mm-hmm. And just knowing that the two of you have consistently done work like that always makes me look forward to when I see the two of your names.
Man, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, being a supporter, and checking out what we do. Put a lot of hard work into it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we don't always get feedback. Sometimes we just post stuff out there and it's like no comments on it. So it's like, people feeling it, are they not? You know what I mean? Like, we see it have to, 1,000 streams, but what does this actually mean? So I appreciate you saying it, man. I really do.
Yeah, sometimes I don't think, I think the fans understand, but not to a certain extent, like how every song we put out takes so much work and effort to create, so even joints that you don't like, just consider the fact that artists, they pour everything into everything, and we don't know what you're going to like and what you're not going to like, so sometimes it can be discouraging to put stuff out and you're really excited about it and it just doesn't hit and resonate the way you think it's going to, or you'll drop something and you're not tripping on it and people flip out on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think a lot of what happens is, the algorithms, everything is promoted through social media now. So you never know which one of your tracks is just going to make it to everybody's timelines. You know what I mean? So some stuff, I think we just didn't get a fair shot for, the multitudes to hear it because of the algorithms and all that other type of stuff. But man, I really appreciate you saying it, man.
You gotta just keep pushing shit, man, because a lot of times people aren't even aware of it, or they haven't heard it. Years later, like when Instrument of Emotion, the homie hit me, he was like, "Your new album is crazy." I'm like, "What new album?" He's like, "Instrument of Emotion." I'm like, "From 2011?" He was like, "Oh, that was some new shit." And he was like, one of his favorite joints was Love and War. He pulled up in front of the house bumping Love and War and Wood Grain.
Wood Grain is crazy, man.
I forgot all about. I mixed up Wood Grain with Leather and Wood from
Figure Eight.
I think Leather and Wood, was that from Greater Scott? No, that was Figure Eight. Yeah,
that song crazy too, man.
I forgot all about. Who produced Wood Grain was Beatnik D's homeboy,
Uncle Stu, right?
No, a British cat out of London. I forget his name, but he's Beatnik D's good friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm not even sure if he's producing anymore.
Yeah, that dude is crazy.
Yeah. Why do I keep lowering my chair? Damn. So yeah, man.
Definitely got more in store,
Yeah, man. Definitely.
I'm gonna continue to enjoy what's out there because replay value is important to me. Substance is important to me. Y'all continue to do that, and whatever y'all need, let me know. Continue to let more know about Jeff Johnson II and CashUs King.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we got plenty of stuff coming, man.
A lot of stuff, man.
We got so much material that every time we get a little discouraged, there's always another step to take. I mean, just blends alone, we got a ton of stuff. We're about to meet Jeff and a lot of the homies about to start on a new blend called On the Dead Homies, which is more about the streets of LA and the streets everywhere. I want the streets to the East Coast, the streets of the Mid. I want to try to get somebody from everywhere. So yeah, just staying true to ourselves. Go ahead.
No.
Oh yeah, and just because I make more conscious music, like Jeff knows, like I got respect for the street shit. I love the drill shit. I love gangster shit. I like the lyrical shit. I like the UK. I like grind. So I just think every artist should be true to who they are. And if the street shit is what you do that. Just try to make it organic and true to you.
Well, yeah, that's why I gravitated towards your work. Like I was saying earlier, if you're just a hybrid of like all of those things, you know what I mean? So it's like super MC. You can do the street shit. You can do the introspective, spiritual stuff. You know what I mean? You can do the lighthearted sitcom type of stuff. So yeah, man. So it's always a pleasure, even if we're not doing a song together, but just being a part of the process, trying to create like a creative concept and market it and put it out. It's all fun and just fulfilling to me, man. So I'm just happy to be a part of the movement. So
I mean, you play such an intricate role that even when you're not on a song, I'll tag you. You know what I mean? Because if you were not on it, you help with the art. If you didn't do the art, you help the platform. If you didn't platform it, you help to hook me up with an artist to do the art. Like so many things. Like for example, the Boom Bap Cadillac video wouldn't have happened without Jeff plugging me with Chancellor, and then coming up with that incredible concept, bringing out the stunt man, and all of that stuff was Chance and Jeff. You know what I mean?
Tommy brought the land.
Oh yeah, and shouts out to Spider-Man,
James Roberts.
James, yeah, man. Yeah. I gotta. He makes music too. We gotta build.
What kind of music does he make?
He plays guitar and sings, and he sings very well too. Yeah, he wanted to build with me. I am, man. He was like, "Yo, let's meet up, let's build," and so I just got a link with him. But yeah, he's a really, really cool dude, man.
Okay, I gotta check him out.
And we about to film a video for the first. I don't know if it's gonna be the first single, but Cream Soda joint I did with Blue off of the DJ Applejack. Doing a video shoot on the 25th for that, and that will most likely be the first single off of Lava Lamps. Either that or another joint featuring Blue. He's on 2 joints on a 10-song project called Mia Moore that Blue did the hook on. When you peep the album, you'll hear him.
I'm gonna check that out tomorrow morning.
I like that Applejack project. I called it an album. It's technically a mixtape, but it's all original production. The whole thing handled by Applejack. So, and then fully mixed by DJ Pocket. Both of them are coming out of Atlanta or located.
Does he do any cutting on it outside of
on Cream Soda?
Okay.
Yeah, he did some cuts on Cream Soda, but besides that, nah. Okay. Just the production. But he did some. Yeah, he did his DJ thing on Cream. Cream Soda's dope as fuck. The beat is crazy, man. Kind of like some Dilla-esque type vibe, So yeah.
Word.
Definitely. I got to shout out Southern Vanguard Radio out of Georgia because they're good friends with DJ Pocket.
Okay.
So that's how I learned more about Applejack.
Okay. Yeah. Word. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Applejack project, man. It's very lyrically dense, Every record I'm putting out kind of offers something different. The Beatnik D is more grand and commercial. The M. Waysome is more atmospheric and soulful. But the Pocket is like hip hop, boom bap, bars. I mean, not the Pocket engineered it, the Applejack. Hip hop, bars, lyricism is very centric on that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Like I said, brother, you can do it all.
Yeah, do it. I just want to get that money, man. I gotta pay me, man. Cut me that check. I can keep doing it. That's the dream, to keep being able to do music without having to, go work at Jersey Mike's or some shit like that. I went to Jersey Mike's today and I seen a bunch of 20-somethings and I was like, I don't want to end up.
This ain't the place for me.
I don't want to work at Jersey Mike's, man. No, if I did something, it would be like DoorDash or something that way I could listen to beats and shit while I drive around.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Jeff, once again, you're a prime example of what I say all the time. everyone can't MC. There's more avenues out there in hip hop to continue to contribute and continue to make hip hop dope year after year. And man, CashUs, like I said, the two of y'all together, this is what we need.
Man, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to both of y'all for y'all support, man. And hip hop is all about that synergy, all about making it a family thing. And me and Jeff put the work in as friends through the years to be able to develop this working relationship, translated from a personal relationship, to make this thing work. Teamwork makes the dream work. So yeah.
Word up.
There you go. And the floor is yours. Give your shout outs. Let everyone know where they can go and support music like Dear Kanye, Poetry in Motion.
Instagram and TikTok. I need y'all help desperately on TikTok. Old man Cash.
TikTok?
Yeah, on TikTok.
Okay.
I'm there, but I'm not there. If a TikTok falls in the wood and nobody's there to see the TikTok, does the TikTok really exist? Is the kind of thing that's going on with me right now. But I am at Old Man Cash. I said TikTok. Please, y'all, go support your boy. And then Instagram at Cash is King is where we really.
And Twitter, Coss Us.
Oh yeah, at Coss Us on Twitter. You know what I mean? So yeah. And I'm very accessible. Anybody that wants to holler at me, as long as it's respectful, and we can always build if you really want to build on something. So yeah, and we got tons. Oh, and of course, cashusking.bandcamp.com. That's where you can go and just comb through my entire catalog and really get a feel for how deep the well of music is, And then we've got plenty of mega blends come. But our next thing that we'll be dropping is the Blue tape, which is the blend with Blue. And then after that, the Malcolm X blend with Jeff. So yeah.
There you go.
And I'll make sure you get it in advance so you can check it out, give us some feedback or whatever. And,
appreciate it. Definitely will.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. And on behalf of our HHDG media crew, we're gonna say peace.
Peace, man. Appreciate you, bro.
West. Peace.
All right, take care.